Hey guys, what's up? Zeep here today, and today we're going to be talking about Death Knights. Alright, now not high-end Death Knights, which I do have one, level 100, and they're super fun. And they're extremely effective when played correctly. Today we're going to be talking about the tanking Death Knight, the Blood Death Knight. And starting out, your starter gear is actually pretty good to tank lower level dungeons with. But if you have the heirloom gear, a full set with the 2 stamina trinkets and the ring, that will work very well for you as well. And you get the 2 stamina trinkets. Now, there is a tanking trinket that you initially get whenever you go through the starting zone, which increases your parry. That is also a good piece to go with as well instead of stamina trinket. Now, saying that, when you level, the trinket does not level with you, the initial parry trinket. So, think about keeping your heirloom trinket or snagging one up later on through questing in the starter area in Hellfire Peninsula. There's a really good one whenever you do the big elemental dudes over to the far west side. Okay, so talents. You're going to want Plague Leech, because if you have 2 diseases on a mob, you can suck those 2 diseases off, and it restores 2 depleted runes. That's very nice to have, because at this level it's very hard to manage your runes. Now, level 60 is the key level that you want to be doing this at. If you're going, let's say if you get out of the starting area and you're level 58 and you want to start tanking dungeons, you can do that, but it's going to be difficult to manage your runes because you do not have Blood Tap quite yet. To get stacks on Blood Tap, let's explain this a little bit. You're going to be using Death Coil, and to use Death Coil, you're going to be using Runic Power. Whenever you use Runic Power, each time you throw one of your Death Coils out, it gives 2 stacks of Blood Tap, and you need 5 stacks to refresh a depleted rune. Okay, and it maxes out at 12. So as soon as you get full Runic Power, you need to be dumping that Runic Power with your Death Coils. Okay? Now, this guide is mainly for starting a Death Knight. It's not going to be telling you how to progress through everything else, okay? This is just starting. Alright, we're going to jump into a instance real fast, and I'll show you how this build works. Oh yeah, by the way guys, before we actually jump into the instance, let me talk about the your rune that you're going to be putting on your weapon. I'm using Rune of Razor Ice for right now because I do not have Stone Skin Gargoyle or Gargoyle Stone Skin, one of the 2. It'll be you'll very notice it. It's very noticeable what the name of the rune is. But you want to go back to your you want to hit your Death Gate, go back, go to your Rune Forge, and put on the Stone Skin Gargoyle as soon as you get it, because that's going to increase your armor and give you a little bit more stamina. So keep that in mind as soon as you see that you get Stone Skin Gargoyle or Gargoyle Stone Skin or whatever the 2 are. So still waiting on the queue here. As soon as it pops, I'll start the video back up. See you then. Alright guys, our queue finally popped, and we are in Ramparts. Alright, the secret to tanking these lower level dungeons is taking it slow. You don't want to pull too much because you don't know how effective your healer is going to be. So immediately you're going to throw your 2 diseases on, get a couple blood boils going, and immediately throw those Death Coils out and get those stacks on your Blood Tap up. I have 4 now. I did use Plague Leech. It is on a low cooldown, so do not worry about using it because it will be up by the next time that you pull, most of the time. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in here. You want to throw your Death and Decay on if there's at least 4 mobs, sometimes 3. It really all depends on how you want to play. You want to pop that blood tap, replenish those runes, get those blood boils going. This is really hard to do commentary on whenever tanking here. So the thing is, you want to try to Death Strike whenever you possibly can. Death Strike heals you, so additionally it's helping the healer heal you as well. You're going to notice that you're going to be taking a good deal of damage whenever you first start tanking, which is totally normal. These dungeons, these first 2, Hellfire Ramparts and Blood Furnace, or whatever it's called, they're pretty nasty. They got some really nasty mobs in there. So if you're taking damage, don't get discouraged. Just push through it. And I guarantee it will all work out in the end. Kiting is also a good option to do as well, especially if you're taking a lot of damage. If you have the ability to take the mobs and drag them away from you without turning your back too much to the mobs, that's going to help the healer. It's going to be kind of annoying for the DPS, but your main goal here is to stay alive for the healer. That way you guys can get through here in a timely and efficient manner. Going to get those diseases on, start blood boiling. Ideally, you want to get at least 5 stacks on your Death Strike before you use it. But, I mean, we all live in a real world here. That's usually not going to happen, guys. To get... Oh, I'm going down. Let's kite these guys around for the healer here. Like I said, ideally you want to get 5 stacks for your Death Strike. If you can't, that's totally fine. It's just not going to heal you quite as much, guys. To get stacks, on your Death Strike, you blood boil, guys. That's how you get those stacks. Now at this level, you do not have any damage cooldowns. I'm sorry, damage reducing cooldowns. So, you know, like I said, it's difficult starting out. But if you can push through these 2 first starting instances, dungeons, it's going to pay off in the end. It will get easier. You'll start getting your damage reduction cooldowns, and your Death Knight will get a lot better, guys. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. We're kind of moving a little quick, but that's alright. I've got a pretty good healer. Now you only need to apply your diseases once, guys, honestly. Your blood boil refreshes those diseases. So whenever you do your Plague Leech, and you notice that that mob does not have diseases on, do not worry, it will get refreshed the next time that you do a Blood Boil. Now, that's with multiple mobs. If it's a single mob, it's not going to refresh those runes. I'm sorry, those diseases. If you noticed, I've been taking extreme amounts of damage, which, like I said, guys, it's totally normal to be taking that much damage. At this point. Now, I am no expert by far on Death Knights, but it doesn't take a whole lot of skill to actually play a Death Knight, guys. Keybinds, they're not required, but they do help. There we go, I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm going to kite around for the healer here. Alright, let's move on. Now, this is an optional boss over here. You don't necessarily have to do it if you're going for speed runs for the experience and you just want to get past this content. But I mean, there is a little experience to be had with downing this boss, but not like a whole lot.
You dare stand against me?
So later on, you're going to be getting a ability that applies both of your diseases at once, and that will actually help you out applying your diseases so you're not wasting runes, putting your Icy Touch and your Plague Strike on that certain mob.
Of course, Akai. Feast my hands. Eat your fill. It is not.
And that ability is actually not till a lot later. It's 81 that you get. It's called Outbreak, and it applies both of those diseases. But at level 100, you're not even going to have to worry about diseases because you're going to have Narcotic Plague. And that's what I've been using, and it seems to be working just fine. Just, like I said, guys, you don't want to rush these things, these dungeons, as a Death Knight. You're going to piss a lot of people off by wiping a lot. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just like I said, at these lower levels, you're just taking so much damage. And it's mainly these mobs. They got a lot of stuns, as you can see there. The other dungeon is actually a lot worse.
Pity they were all in vain. Soon your people will kneel to my lord. Your time is running out. My lord defeats the end of you.
Alright, now I am level 62 and I got my first damage reduction cooldown, and it's Icebound Fortitude. So that reduces the damage I take by 20%. So that's a pretty good ability to snag. And it has a 3-minute cooldown, which is kind of long, but it lasts for 8 seconds. So if you're taking a lot of damage, it's something to consider popping whenever you possibly can. Okay, guys, that pretty much concludes my video for starting out as a Death Knight. I hope it was informative and it helps you guys. There was a few abilities that I didn't go over as far as the talent tree goes, and I'll hit those up real fast as soon as I get out of here. And one of them's pretty crucial to have. It's kind of saves your ass from dying, and that's called Purgatory. So let's pull up our talent tree again. Oh, glyphs. Glyphs don't really matter as far as things are going right now. Your starter glyphs that they give you initially, you got Glyph of Unholy Command, immediately refreshes the cooldown on your Death Grip after you get a killing blow, and Death Grip increases the range of your Death Grip. Now, these two can be used for now, but later on, you're going to be wanting Blood Boil, and a Magic Shell, and probably a Dancing Rune weapon as well. So, talents. Let's get back into that. I went over Plague Leech. The next thing you want to get is Purgatory. What Purgatory does is whenever you get down to 1 health, it puts a shield around you for like 3 seconds. And that gives the healer enough time to pop off a big heal on you to get you up to at least 25% health. So that's kind of a good thing to have. Now these two things right here, Chillblains and Asphyxiate. I like Death's Advance just because it gives me a little bit of movement speed just in case I have to kite mobs around so I do not die. It's totally up to you what you want to have here. Chillblains, whenever victims are affected by your Frost Strike, I'm sorry, not your Frost Strike, but your Icy Touch, it's going to slow them down by 50%. So it can be helpful, but if you're moving kind of quickly through a dungeon, you don't want mobs slowly following you. You kind of want them on you. Asphyxiate. Now, this is another interrupt, like Strangulate and Mind Freeze, only Asphyxiate lifts an enemy into the air, like it kind of strangles them, right? Now, this is also a stun. The only problem with this is it's got a 30-second cooldown, and some mobs are immune to stuns. It will silence them, though. So that's another good thing to have. And it has a range, kind of like your Strangulate. And this does not use runes. So it's really your call on if you want to pick that up or not. Now, keep in mind that your Strangulate does use a rune when you use it. So, you know, I use Strangulate for ranged mobs that are casting on me. But like I said, it does take that rune off. And then Blood Tap, of course. You need to have Blood Tap. Runic Empowerment, not really worth it. It doesn't proc that often. And Runic Corruption, like it's pretty much the same thing as Runic Empowerment. These two things, not that great. They don't proc that often, and it's not that great. So, Blood Tap for sure. Because when you spend that runic power with your Death Coil, it gives you those Blood Tap stacks, and that's for sure a for sure thing. So anyway, guys, that's been my guide for noob Blood Death Knight tanking. Not saying that you are a noob, but maybe you're a noob to the class. So I hope this has been informative. Stay tuned for more content. We will see you next video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see. See you next time.